Good afternoon from Marie at Messy M Creations. I trust you are all well this fine Monday. If you are live, please say hi, and if you are on replay, also say hi so I know you've caught up, and let me know what you think. Just had a big old rainfall here. I didn't think any rain was forecast this week. I thought I'd be out watering the garden later, but no need. Hi Kim! Hope you're well. The rain saved me a little job today. And yes, it is July, but we are looking to Christmas. Can't leave making our Christmas cards too long, you know. So I am working with Christmas Gleaming today. So I'm going to replicate layering up those baubles. So essentially a simple card with one set. I'm only going to be using Seaside Spray. I have a couple of my watercolour painters available and a pen and my Stays On. Because I am going to be colouring with watercolours, I need to use Stays On as an ink, otherwise there is a risk that anything else might leak. So I'll take that out of the way, and that. So this set does come with 2 punches and some gorgeous paper, so it is available in the new catalogue launching on the 4th of August. So this is a little bit of a preview. Some of you may recognise it from last year. So I am, in order to create that layered appearance with the baubles, I'm using masks. So I stamp onto a post-it note, ensuring that the sticky piece of the post-it note, hi Rachel, ensuring the sticky piece of the post-it note is within that mask, and then we cut it out as close to the edge as we can. I hope you're well as well, Rachel. Has everybody just had a rain shower, or is it just me? I swear I looked at the weather forecast for this week and it was going to be lovely. Oh, and I have to share the most exciting part of the day today, obviously before starting to craft Christmas cards. I went to inspect my little cucumber plants and my tomato plants and my beans, and I've got 3 little teeny weeny little cucumbers on my little cucumber plant. I've got loads of green tomatoes and I've got beans. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me that's had rain. But yes, I'm like, the first time I've grown vegetables and they're actually growing. It's very exciting. Although, to be fair, the number of tomatoes that are growing, I think we might have a bit of a glut of tomatoes. But anyway, let's not worry about the glut of tomatoes just yet. Hi, Lynn. So, yeah, so I'm only using Seaside Spray as an ink colour. I'm thinking this might be one of my favourites for Christmas because it's kind of got that icy blue tint to it. So I have pre-made myself some card bases, is the word I'm looking for, and pre-cut a couple of shimmery white paper. Shimmery white is slightly better if you are going to use watercolours. It tends to take watercolours a little bit better. So I've cut a couple of pieces of that. So we've got our Christmas Gleaming stamps at the ready. So as I say, stamping with Stays On. I might do this one this way up. So yeah, Stays On because I am going to be using watercolours. So in the first instance, going to pop one of those right there. Then we use our mask. Now the reason we cut the mask out with our scissors, not with the punch, is because we want it really tight to the shape. I might do... Joy of these things, you can make a decision. I'm going to put a there. I'm wondering whether to do another big one or whether to do a small one. Let's do 3 big ones to start with. So I'm going to use all the same... No, I'm not. I'm going to do... Oh, Seaside Spray is your favourite. Mine always used to be Blackberry Bliss, but it's changing. But yeah, I was thinking about my Christmas cards today and thinking, right, what colours am I going to do? And Seaside Spray is definitely going to be featuring. So, because I've used that mask, those baubles are now kind of tucked behind. Now because that stays on, we need to get the lid on. So I've squeezed my ink pad together to get the ink onto the lid. I generally just bring that ink pad slightly forward to balance it. And I'm using the finest of the new water brushes purely because I've got the kind of edges that I want to stick to. So, hi Jeanette, it might be, if you haven't seen the new catalogue. Yes, it's not in the main catalogue. Oh, I was keeping her in suspense, Linda. But it is in the new. It was listed as a carryover. And I absolutely love it. Love the papers. I love the set. So yeah, so literally I'm just taking my watercolour and I'm shadowing. Let's add a little bit of extra water. So just going to put darker around that edge. And then take the colour out so that we're creating a shadow, kind of that the baubles created on the next one. So you can add as much or as little colour as you want. So I'm going to make it look like we have like a icy blue bauble, but we've got more depth of colour right near the edge. But this is why we use the Stays On ink to do that. But this works in any colourway. So you can just pull the colour out from that shadow. Well then, Jeanette, you know what's on your shopping list now? Papers as well. So yeah, just creating more of a shadow and taking that colour out. So on that centre one, I'm going to do it quite pale, don't need to do any shadowing. So just a therapeutic little bit of watercolour painting. You can be as artistic as you want. But just adding a little bit more water there. So you can see from that, by creating that shadow, you're creating kind of a 3D effect. So it's pushing that front bauble out even further. So that's how I've coloured the baubles. If I made your day. I love that. So all I do for the strings for the bauble is just take a fine tip pen. I kind of just do a little bit of a squiggle like it's tied on and just draw freehand a line straight up. So I'm not using a ruler, I'm just literally drawing that. I'm just going to shut that quickly before we have any disasters. And again, because I've inked in Stays On, I'm going to use a Stamp Right marker. And to me, Bumblebee is like the perfect colour for the little top of the bauble. So I'm just colouring that. I don't. Has that got a proper name? The top of a bauble like that. Then I am very happy, Jeanette. So when the catalogue comes out on the 4th of August. So I'm just doing that very quickly. Might just because I like to, I'm just going to cut a corner off just because I can. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but I can, so I will. So then within this little set you have you've got Merry Christmas, you've got a Bejolly this season and Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. You've also got some little splodges and you've got a lovely bit of holly and a thing that actually in my set's completely uninked, so I need to work out what to do with that thing at some point. I think, don't know what you'd call that, but it's a little scripty thing. Anyway, so I am using the Merry Christmas. So there's two ways of cutting this out. So once you've inked it, the Merry Christmas is then solid, but it fits inside the thin punch. So then I've obviously just cutted. That's good English. I've cut the ends off, and then this one I've just hand cut, literally just leaving a couple of millimeters around the edge. So it does just give you a couple of different looks. And all I'm going to do, because it's a relatively short distance, that won't work with the lid on, will it? I'm going to freehand, but what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to put it on a Seaside Spray card, just going to stick that on a little background of Seaside Spray and then just freehand cut. You could do it on your cutter if you wanted to, but done that a little bit uneven. Might just neaten that up a ditch. Went a bit crazy in the middle there. But I think it's relatively short, so it's quite easy to do a freehand. So that makes a little border around. So you can cut that greeting so that you get no border, or you can do a white border or whatever colour you stamp it on. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't have stamped that straight onto Seaside Spray. In fact, how does it look? Hadn't thought that one till now. So just ink that up, just thinking it might look quite... I know it didn't matter whether that was the right way up or not, I just needed it to be, because... See, that's quite cute as well, isn't it? So we could... I'm going to cut that with a slight So I'm literally just cutting along that edge as straight as I can. But it's handmade, so we don't have to be perfect. So let's have a look at the various different... I hadn't thought of doing that before. I love my little ideas that come to me. So we could... So this is going to go on to a Seaside Spray card. So that's going to stick to there. So you could simply put the Merry Christmas on the Seaside Spray. Or... I might for that one, might go with the white border. Or you could mount this little one that won't come up. You could put that on simply, or you could mount that. I think I might go with that one. And I kind of like it off slightly to a quirky angle. And actually I have recruited Stampin' Seal Plus. I don't need it for that little greeting. However, this is still slightly wet. So what I want to make sure is that we get that centerpiece stuck down well. And one difference with Stampin' Seal Plus, oops, a bit off piece there, and I don't know that it's going to show up on the camera, is, no, it probably won't. Stampin' Seal Plus has like little breaks in it, so it breaks off really easily, so it is really strong, but it does have those little breaks through it. Oh phew, that's the one I chose, Linda. So then we're going to just pop that straight onto the card base, and then I'm just going to make sure that that centerpiece is really well stuck down. So simple and effective. That's just one ink, one stamp set, a couple of pens, and our watercolours. So that's one with all three of the bigger ones. And then all that happens, we'll quickly do another one, is you just use multiple masks if you want more baubles. And I might make the front one not in the middle on this one. I'm going to make the front one there. Then, so again, just pop the little mask on. Then we can do a little baby one on that side. I'm not going to go any further that way, but then I'm going to put a little baby one that side. And actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Let's vary it, because I'm going to put a baby one there. So basically you can play with this to your heart's content, masking and stamping. So I'm going to mask those two, and actually I might use this one again. Aha! Tara, yes you do. It may be something from a little Let's Get Creative, wasn't it? You showed us how to do this. See? It never left my head. It's stuck in there. So then take our masks off. And we've got a variety on different levels. So again, transferring a bit of ink into the ink pad. And then darker edge where you've got that shadowing, and then Yeah, I love this set so much. And it just lends itself to this technique as well, that the lovely Tara shared with us. And sadly COVID stopped our group crafting this year, but it won't keep us down forever. Says Marie, who doesn't even run the day, but you know. I know it won't keep Tara, Jenny and Karen down. We'll be back. And I absolutely agree with you, Jeanette, and it's a need. It's a definite need. So you can put the depth of colour as dark or as light. I mean that's quite a dark one that I've done, and we've literally got the lighter panel down the centre on that back one. That Cherry Cobbler, I would suspect. Blackberry Bliss. These are actually these are last year's. Blackberry Bliss. Oh, I'll tell you a colour you will like as well. In the Mossy Meadow. And actually on that one I think I may have snuck a little bit of extra Wink of Stella. So literally using this technique works in any colour whatsoever. So just add a bit more water to that, because these front ones just do a quick wash. Because I'm using the Seaside Spray, I want to keep it fairly, just love that icy, which makes me feel cold, which is slightly wrong, but a bit of Monday Madness, a bit of Christmas in July. I think you'll be spending now, Jeanette. Get that August order in. I mean, it's beautiful that with the punches, you can create some real beauts of cards with this set. And the papers are gorgeous. But yeah, you can, whatever colour you want to do for Christmas. Yeah, Seaside Spray is definitely on my Christmas colour list this year. Yeah, she's got a wish list going, Tara, don't worry. She's putting a list together. I've made her day today by sneaking this one in on a Monday. Oh, have I? Oh, yes, I have. I think I have. I put the post up. Have I, oh, might have to check myself. Have I put the post up for this week's One Sheet Wonder? And what colours we're going? Have you been voting? I think you might. I've got a feeling, but I don't know whether I'm merging my weeks. When I come off, I'll double check that I've done the post as to what colours we're going to use. So that's on Wednesday, One Sheet Wonder Wednesday. So the other thing that you can do, because we have this brilliant wide brush as well. Oh, you think I have, Kim? Excellent. I feel like my weeks all merging together. So what's quite fun, you do have to wait for it to dry, so I might need to apply my heat gun, is we've got this fantastic wide brush. So whereas previously we mounted the greeting, what you can also do, a little bit more, is you can create a splash of colour across the card rather than a separate mount. So in its absolute simplest form, we've got ink, one colour, one stamp set, black stays on, some water painters, and we could be happy for hours and hours. I am just going to quickly dry that slightly, she says, hoping that it's plugged in. No. Okay, find the other end of it. So essentially, because that is a water-based ink, and I'm going to put it on, use stays on, the two don't mix. So we need that to be dry. And so what you can do is, again, taking that lovely Merry Christmas, get a good old inking up of your stays on, and then you'll see the top of my head now, sorry. Then kind of work out approximately where your middle is. Ink down, and you have created a background without the layers, which I thought was quite cool as well. So that new wide water painter is absolutely fantastic for creating something like that. I've seen some amazing backgrounds with it, so that's something else that I've got to play with as well. So I'm gonna keep it as simple as that. I've managed to splob something on there. No, not what. Might actually. I need to shorten that just to. Let's get the splodge off. Don't know how I managed to do that. Gone. Cut a corner off just because I can. And take my card base. Pop that straight onto my card base. And again, I am using the Stampin' Seal Plus only because it's slightly damp. If you waited for it to dry, you could use the standard Stampin' Seal. God, here we go again. Technique. Quite flat. There we go. Get that going. And then pop that on the card base and just making sure that we've got those. So there we go. So I know I've made, now the other thing is of course make sure you keep these little masks because they can go on and on and on. So I find it easiest if I keep them in my little stamp set. Then they're always at hand. But always cut them out with scissors, not with the punch. And I will, when I can pick this one up, yes, that one doesn't like being picked up. I'm also going to keep those as well because obviously they can be used on another card. So there we go. Christmas on a Monday in July, featuring Seaside Spray and those greetings in a couple of different ways. So hopefully you've enjoyed that and that's inspired some Christmas crafting. And thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye.